if we're talking Kona, there's no better authority on the subject than the queen of Kona herself, who also happened to design this week's Kona speed block. We have Ironman master coach Paula Newby Fraser on the line. Paula, how are you?
Hey, good morning, Michael and Didi. Good to see you. How are you?
Well, I'm doing well because I haven't fired up the speed yet today, but still just kind of warming up, I will say. But thanks for coming in. Talk to us a little about this Kona speed block and why do we kick things off this way? I know this is your style, so share with us, please, the reasoning behind.
Yeah, so it's a little bit counterintuitive because when you're getting ready to train for an Ironman, you don't necessarily think, well, what I've got to focus on first is speed. But I mean, ultimately, when we were doing an Ironman, particularly at the end of the season, your whole goal is to carry as much as what you have. And when I talk about speed, it's a very individual level. We each have a certain amount of speed in our athletic ability, and the goal of the training is to be able to carry as much of that as possible into your training and build it. So I always like to start off the beginning of Kona training with something short, very often a short course race, and you kind of see what you have in you, and that's sort of your starting point, and you go, okay, now I'm going to design my program, step it down and try and build up the strength, which is coming next, to hold as much of the speed as possible. So it's a little bit of a counterintuitive approach, but that's the way I always approached it over the years.
Now, Paula, World Championship Week is going to look slightly different this year, but the athletes are still going to be able to commemorate this special October tradition and event and celebrate some of the Kona magic. What are you most excited about as we head into the Ironman VR World Championship celebration? Can you give us a little insight?
Yeah, this is, everything is looking different this year, and so is Kona. It's September time, and we're all so used to getting ready to celebrate the sport. Ironman, Kona in October is the sort of coming together of the sport globally. Everybody is very excited to get together, and so what we're going to do is be able to experience some of the magic and bring that magic to everyone around the world. All the events, the banquets, the underpants run, the swim, but also to take bite-sized pieces under the guidance of some of the master coaches, the opportunity to experience the course, experience the events around Kona itself. So this is going to be a very, very special week. And just because we're not there, we're all going to have the opportunity to connect, and we're going to have the opportunity to tackle something you probably thought, maybe I'm not equipped to do this. I never thought I could do this, but it's definitely opening the doors to so many more people to come and experience, connect. And, there's nothing as inspiring, especially in a year like this, to have our global Ohana get together and experience the best of what Ironman racing is in the most magical place.
That's a great answer, and I love that. Thank you for that. Also, just kind of piggybacking on what you said, you talked about people not feeling like they could tackle it. So let's talk accessibility. We've now seen more people through this Kona series given access to something they maybe didn't think they could do. Have you seen that sort of as a theme throughout VR racing?
Oh, look, this VR racing has been absolutely superb. I mean, hasn't it? It's given folks from all over the world the opportunity to tackle so many different courses, to see, you can be living in Australia and be, getting a taste of a course in Austria and vice versa, some magnificent courses around the United States, around the world. So this has done in so many respects is open up what's available out there to our athletes around the world. They can experience what Ironman racing and what Ironman courses are all about, and it's allowed them to do it in a way that suits them. They can race it all out. They've been able to do it in 20-kilometer bits, 40 kilometers, 70.3s. So everybody what this has done is made this available to you, in at the capacity and the ability and that you are able to do, because I think that what this VR has done has inspired so many people to understand what they can do. So I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of new faces out on the Ironman circuit next year.
Yes.
Oh, so good, Paula. And so this week, Ironman VR22, the Kona speed block, exciting format. I'm going to put you on the spot before we let you go. Is it going to be the men or is it going to be the women?
Well, you know, I'm rooting for the women out there. I think it's going to be a tight race. It really is a tight race. We've stacked up this field, and I think you know, we had a lot of data from the VR. So we have Nikki and Sam. So it's yeah. I mean, I'm rooting for the women. I think it's going to be very tight. So I'm going to go with the women's team.
There you go. Well, I don't doubt you would have guessed that. I think we've run the numbers, and it's actually going to be pretty close. That first 7 minutes sounded pretty big, but Paula, you're working the magic behind the scenes as you always do. We're going to let you continue to do that. Thank you so much for your time this morning, and give a big hug to your man huddle, and take care of business. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.